Your message can threaten those who aren't ready to hear it. Because the moment you begin to open yourself up and truly express yourself in your business, you'll start to get judgmental messages and negative comments online. And when this happens, it's all too easy to get sucked down a rabbit hole of emotions, or even worse, get stopped in your tracks. Years ago, I was sitting in an audience listening to best-selling author Marcia Wieder when she said something that just really stuck with me. She said, in business, you have to toughen your skin and soften your heart. And I've let this piece of advice guide my business ever since. I'm Marcia Wieder, and in helping over 12,000 people start and grow online businesses, I've discovered that when you open your heart and speak your message, you can change the world. But there's also a downside. Your message can threaten those who aren't ready to hear it. Because the moment you begin to open yourself up and truly express yourself in your business, you'll start to get judgmental messages and negative comments online. And when this happens, it's all too easy to get sucked down a rabbit hole of emotions, or even worse, get stopped in your tracks. So that's why in this video, I'm going to share both how not to respond and how to respond, and even give you a template that you can make your own. Sound good? Then go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because I'm filming more tutorials like this one, and I don't want you to miss any of them. Let's dive in. We've all come across haters and complainers, am I right? In today's world, it seems like they're popping up like mushrooms after rain. It's almost as if social media and constant video streams have given them a megaphone. Imagine one of those Karens at Starbucks flipping out because her half-calf double pump macchiato is missing an extra pump. Exactly that. And if you're running a business, there's no doubt you've bumped into these complainers. And hey, sometimes they got a point. We all mess up, right? We've got to own that. But why do some folks hate on you when you're just doing you? When you're being true to yourself, when you're sticking to your values, when you're trying to help them? Why all the negativity? Newsflash, it's not really about you. Folks just want to be seen, to be heard, to feel like they matter. But when they're not feeling that way, sometimes complaining becomes their way of just putting up their hand and shouting, hey, I'm here, look at me, listen to me. Maybe their business isn't going so well. Maybe their personal life's a bit of a mess. Either way, when things seem out of control, it's easier to project onto someone else than take responsibility for yourself. So remember to lead with empathy. You're dealing with people, their stories, not just complaints. So take a deep breath, listen, and respond with understanding. That's how we turn things around. And sometimes you can turn your biggest haters into your biggest fans. Now, in case you're wondering, Marisa, what about the people who are hateful just to be hateful? Who spew the most vitriolic things, whether that be racism or sexism or whatever it happens to be? Well, those are trolls, and we ignore them. That's not what this video is about. This video is about people in your audience, maybe even your customers, who don't like something you've taught or shared and want you to know about it loud and clear. So now that you understand a bit more about why people complain, let's look at the typical responses that entrepreneurs and businesses make. So think of a time you had a hater. It could be a comment on social media, maybe an email complaining about something you said, or even someone confronting you in person. Did you respond in any of these ways? Did you feel hurt and start to second guess whether you should be sharing yourself like this? Did you get angry and lash out? Did you apologize and ask the person to give you a second chance? These are all natural reactions when faced with a hater or a complainer, but they're not the most productive. Because there's another way to respond, a way that respectfully acknowledges someone's perspective without defending or attacking or apologizing for who you are, because you have nothing to apologize for. You are awesome. So instead of just telling you in broad strokes, I'm going to tell you the exact email template my support team wrote to respond to these kinds of notes, so you can be prepared for the inevitable ripples that your message is going to create in the world. And that's something to celebrate, not something to fear. So let me give you this template. Hi, first name. Thank you for sharing your thoughts. We definitely think it's important to follow teachers whose beliefs are in alignment with our own, so we remain in integrity as individuals and as a community. Marcia is known as someone who shares, teaches, guides, and inspires through bold self-expression and vulnerable storytelling. From time to time, we come in contact with someone in the community who doesn't resonate with some of the honest self-expression shared. This is to be expected in life. We respect their choice to not resonate with the message shared, just as much as we hope in return they respect that Marcia will remain Marcia, living a life of full self-expression without filtering who she is to please others. And when those complaints do come in, for every one received, we receive at least 50 thank yous from people who are inspired by Marcia's bold, honest, and caring self-expression and grateful to her for changing their lives. If Marcia, or any of us for that matter, were to filter who we are for others, we would no longer be in integrity and our brilliance and calling would be muted. Marcia built this community on the foundation that each of us has a gift and message to share. If she were to change who she is to please others, she wouldn't be true to her calling, and that would be a great loss to many who look up to her and are inspired by the great work she does. While Marcia's style is bold and full of self-expression, she's never hurtful, malicious, or disrespectful. She lives to inspire, guide, and challenge others to step outside their comfort zone to be the best they can be, so each of us can be part of the positive ripple effect of change. She has one of the biggest hearts I've ever known. I know that if what she says were to offend someone's sensibilities, she would want them to first get curious about what's really triggering them, then remain in integrity with themselves, whether that's taking ownership of the trigger or choosing a teacher and community that's in alignment with their values. We follow the belief, don't stay where you are tolerated, go where you are celebrated. So if Marcia, being her amazing self, isn't someone you resonate with, then we humbly and graciously suggest that you might find more joy in someone else's community. If we don't gel, we wish you well. Shared with kindness and the warmest of wishes. And then the team member signs their name. Phew, how did that make you feel? Let's break down each part of the template and why it's important to your response. So you can craft your own if you want to, or of course you can use this one. So first of all, you want to mention the person by name because personalization is key. Next, you want to actually thank that person. Now, I know you may find this part extra difficult, especially if their message is negative or hateful, but thank them anyway. Thank them for taking the time to write to you, and then let them know that their viewpoint is shared. This lets the person know you're not defensive and that you do receive feedback like theirs from time to time. But then show them that they're in the minority, because though their viewpoint is shared by some, it isn't shared by most. So don't be afraid to tell them that. In our template, we let them know that for every complaint we get 50 or more thank yous. You'll also want to stand up for yourself, but in a respectful way. We do this by spending several paragraphs explaining why we receive so many thank you messages. Now, this isn't bragging, it's simply explaining what we do well and why we have a thriving community. Be honest here. Don't hold back and be modest, even though you may want to. And finally, end your response with class. That's right, class. We end with, if we don't gel, we wish you well. Avoid the temptation to be all buttoned up and formal. You can be playful, you can be uniquely you in how you close your messages, no matter who you're talking to, from potential customers to potential business partners to the haters and the complainers. All right, that's a wrap on this quick tutorial. I hope it helps you dial in your messaging and feel confident standing up for who you are and what you believe. Because talking about what you do and who you help in a way that clicks with your future customers is one of the 6 essential skill sets that you need to turn your unique gifts, talents, and passions into a thriving business. So if you're hungry for more, if you're keen to master all 6 of these skill sets and create a business that's not just long-lasting, but really truly deeply fulfilling, then listen up, because I got a free workshop for you on unlocking the science of consistent action. This is the overwhelm-free way to finally start building your business one tiny step at a time. Because tiny steps are things that anyone can do. So go grab your spot at liveyourmessage.com/unlock. It's completely free. And thanks for watching. I appreciate it so much. Now, you can grab the template I shared here in the descriptions below. Feel free to modify it to fit you, your voice, whatever. And before you go, just one quick question. Do you have a way that you typically respond to haters and complainers that's worked for you? If you do, drop it in the comments because I'd love to read it. Whatever you do, don't let anyone, and I mean anyone, stop you from sharing your unique message, your unique gifts with the world. You got this. And if you want to keep on watching, there's a couple other videos I think you'll like. How to create a long-lasting brand and how to laser focus your message to grow your business. See you in the next video.